And get with the beat.
How's it going, fellas? It's been quite the week in arm wrestling. Just over the weekend, we had the Montana Armbender card. A ton of great matches on that card. I'm just going to talk about a few of them that I found to be really interesting. But the whole card was great, and for $6, it was well worth the money. So I do recommend you purchase the pay-per-view on Prem Stream and tune in next year when the card comes around. We've also got two other things to talk about. We've got Kamil Jablonski revealing his strategy to beat Monster Michael Todd. And spoiler, he's going to try to top roll him. He's going to try to do exactly what Hermes did. Hermes has set the blueprint for how to beat Michael Todd. Kind of the same goes for Vitaly, but I think Hermes did it a little bit technically better than Vitaly. But that's what Kamil's going to do. He's going to try to top roll him. We'll get into that. And then also for beginners and experts alike, if you have not checked out Bogdan Stoika's channel, he probably puts out the best training advice that I have seen thus far on YouTube. It's simple, it's affordable, it's very easy to understand. We'll get into that. But let's start off first with Kamil Jablonski revealing his grand strategy to beat Monster Michael Todd. Now, the blueprint has actually been out there for a while now. Devin Larratt kind of set the standard. I believe it was his second match against Monster Michael Todd. It was at King of the Table a few years ago. It was one of the first King of the Tables that they ever did. And in that match, Devin showed everyone, this is how you beat Michael Todd. This is how you beat him. You climb, and then you press. You get over his hand, then you press. You don't press off the go, and you don't try to finish the match in a top roll. You have to climb over his hand, get a crazy amount of height, and then press. So the blueprint has been out there for a while now. And just recently, obviously, we saw Hermes Gasparini do the same thing to Michael Todd. He played it patient. You have to be patient. He played it patient. He hit his high posting top roll that he's known for. He gained the high knuckle advantage, and then he went for the press. But that's easier said than done. And I think we're going to find out that Kamil just isn't ready to top roll a guy like Monster Michael Todd. And Michael Todd doesn't always seem like he's a great top roller because he often loses his cupping. Sometimes he does get turned palm up a little bit, but he always brings it back. And we know he's super sticky in that extended position. And I don't think Kamil is going to really know what to do with that. If he tries to hit a top roll off the go, I think his wrist is going to get flopped back pretty badly. And he's going to be in a much worse position than he was in their first match when he just flopped right off the go. And as far as I'm aware, Kamil has never really tried to top roll in any high-level match that I've seen. The first time I've ever seen him try to hit any type of outside move was obviously just recently in his match against Jerry Caderet. By the way, one of the most entertaining matches I've ever seen. But Jerry Caderet, he is not known for his top roll. And I would say he's not even really known for the King's move anymore. It's just been so long since he's done it at a high level. Kamil was not even able to top roll Jerry. And I get that it's a totally different matchup and styles make matchups. I get it. But I just don't think if you are unable to top roll Jerry Caderet that you're going to have a whole lot of luck with Michael Todd, especially with gaining that high knuckle, which you need to do. It is crucial that you get over the hand of Michael before you press. So let me know what you think. Do you think Kamil's going to be able to pull off a top roll against a guy like Michael Todd? I am doubtful, and obviously I want Michael Todd to win. He's an American, and I really want to see him against Levon at some point. before he leaves the super heavyweight division, I'd like to see that match just so that we can say we saw it happen. I think most people would like to see that because at this point, nobody's beating Levon. We just want to see, like, who can slow him down? Could Michael slow him down? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic for today. Bogdan Stoica. So he's got a match coming up against Nuko Chikadze. This is incredibly exciting. These two guys, I wouldn't call Nuko I wouldn't really call either of them rookies because they've both been doing it for quite a long time now. But Bogdan has just recently made his debut on the East versus West stage when he quite convincingly beat Paul Lynn. He is very explosive. Nuko is also very explosive. So this match is very intriguing. I think obviously Nuko is the not the upper dog, but the favorite. But that aside, I've been really intrigued by his training philosophy. And in short, his training philosophy is similar to Mindaugas Terasaitis' training philosophy. And that is, you should always feel good when you're training because your goal is to always recover and break down, recover more, break down a little bit, recover more, so that you're always progressing as quickly as possible, and you should feel good while you're doing this. Not only that, he also the actual training itself that he does is very simple. He's kind of known as the towel guy. If you've seen his videos, he just uses a towel and he wraps it around his hand in different ways. Sometimes he has a little block of wood that he puts in his hand around the towel, and that helps him do his finger pressure exercises. You'll have to see the videos to know exactly what I'm talking about, but his training is very simple, it's very affordable, and I've tried some of the things that he does, and it's very effective. And I have made the greatest leaps in my strength training just doing stuff that feels good. Using resistance bands, using towels, using things that fit well in your hand, but they can still be uncomfortable in a good way. So if you're looking for training advice, it's hard to explain exactly what he does, but you should absolutely go over to Bogdan Stoica's channel, check out his videos, because I promise you will level up quite a bit. And with that being said, let's get to the last part of this video, which is the part that I'm most excited about, of course. The Montana Armbender. It happened over this past weekend. By the way, congratulations to everyone who put that together. It was a phenomenal event, and for $6, you won't get a better show. That was really well done. They kept the card moving. It really did feel like it was as close to nonstop action as you can get. I love the running foul system. It makes sure that most of the matches are ending on pins. Rarely are guys fouling out and losing or winning matches on fouls. So I really love that about the event. Let's get into some of the matches that I was particularly interested in. First off, we'll start with Dakota Shipton versus Bryan Johnson. So this was a left-handed match, and this was a back and forth war. Bryan Johnson has had some time away from the sport, but his crowning achievement is beating John Brzenk on the left arm at some point in his career. So Dakota Shipton won that match 3-2. So Dakota basically has a win over John Brzenk. So that's pretty cool. Dakota was able to show some levels to his game, which I thought was really cool. First off, the commentators were kind of saying, hey, if this match stops, it's Bryan's. He's got the superior stamina. He can stay in these certain positions all day long. It turns out he can't. Turns out Dakota Shipton had some pretty good stamina as well. And he was able to show off his press, his defensive top roll, really good defensive top roll. And I just thought he did really well. He switched it up. He went for the press when he had to. He went for the defensive top roll. at the start of the match to get the advantage. And he made really smart decisions, when to attack, when to defend. I thought it was well done. So that was, honestly, if it weren't for the main event, I kind of thought that would have been match of the night. It was a really good match. Very entertaining. So let's move on to the next one. This one was a little disappointing. I was really hoping Miles would pull off the win here. Miles Hutton versus Nathan Johnson. Great first round for Miles. It kind of looked like he almost gripped up for like a high hook almost. And he just flash pinned Nathan. Maybe Nathan missed the go. Didn't look like it though. It looked like he really tried to catch Miles and he just couldn't deal with the power, the top end power. So awesome first round for Miles, but round 2 and 3, they went to straps. He got sucked into the hook, and Nathan is just really good in the hook. So unfortunately, he just wasn't able to hang with Nathan in the hook. It was close though. Miles was not getting ran through in the hook, but it just seemed like Nathan had that little extra bit of stamina in the hook. Just was able to get a little bit more purchase. And then in round 4, Miles tried to go outside. Looked like he tried to hit maybe somewhat of a low hand top roll, but it's really hard to switch to a top roll after you red line in a hook for a couple of rounds. It is so hard to switch to a top roll. So it was kind of his last ditch effort to find a lane, but unfortunately it just didn't work. But that match was, although it was a 3-1 victory for Nathan, I thought it was a fairly close match. If a few things went differently, it could have definitely went in Miles's favor. So anyways, let's move on to another one that was a little bit disappointing. Cody Wood versus Alexander Groot. This was the co-main event, and there's not a whole lot to say about this one. I was really hoping Alex could pull off the win. Realistically, I was just hoping that he would be able to find a lane somewhere to maybe get a stop at some point, maybe get one win, make the match somewhat competitive. Even if he did lose, I thought that would have been a win. But unfortunately for Alex, there was just a significant strength difference there. So it went 4-0 to Cody Wood. It wasn't close. It wasn't close. But this is going to motivate Alex. And he's so new to this game. He's been in it like 3 years. So the fact that he's at this level already is crazy. And he'll be back. He'll be back. I am sure of it. Last match, and this was match of the night, Adam Warzinski versus Sandris Sadis. Potentially the greatest hook war ever. It ended 4-1 in Adam's favor, but that score does not really show how close this match was. Almost every single round was just a grinder of a round. At the end of this super match, both guys were absolutely exhausted, and I just couldn't believe how evenly matched these two were in the hook. And I couldn't believe how much stamina Sandris had in the hook. Generally, when a match gets stopped in the hook with Adam, it's not very long before his opponent gasses out and he gets a pretty easy victory. That did not happen in this match. They both had incredible stamina in the hook. Wonderful match to watch. Hey, I was one of the people who didn't really think Adam had all that much of a chance, just because the level of competition that Sandris has faced in the past has just been much higher than Adam. But he shocked us all. So congratulations to Adam. That was an awesome performance. That's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know, and have a good night.